Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, we went over the last major feature of this game that I had not gone over up to this point. We didn't actually take part in the feature, but I think I got all of the main information out there. Anyway, this time, we are going to be doing something momentous. We are going to be catching the last Pokemon we are ever going to catch in the series. After this episode, we won't have to catch anything. We'll just have to breed or evolve them. That is because there remain only 9 evolutionary families of which we have no members. They are all found inside Hidden Grottoes, and they are a pain to get to show up. To give you guys a bit of perspective, I've been playing the game for about 2 hours and 15 minutes by this point, and I've gotten exactly 4 of these 9 Pokemon to show up in Hidden Grottoes. So we might be here a while off screen. Anyway, the first one I want to catch is here in Lostlorn Forest. Some of these grottos have more than one Pokemon, and obviously we can only catch one at a time. First off, we have Grovyle. You might sense a pattern in this episode. Pretty much every Pokemon we're going to be catching here is a starter Pokemon, because those gift Pokemon that we obtained very early on in the series, this is the way you would get them if you didn't get them via the Harlequins that give them out. Alright, we have a critical capture right here. Can we please get lucky? Yes! Awesome. Love it. Grovyle was caught. So yeah, this episode probably won't be the longest when it comes to edited, released footage, but off-screen, oh boy, this one is going to take a while. It lives in dense jungles. While closing in on its prey, it leaps from branch to branch. Very nice. But yeah, that's basically the gist of this episode. It's pretty momentous, but it's very, very monotonous at the same time. So with that, now that we have caught Grovyle, we are going to be heading off to Route 6. Now, to clarify, there are other Pokemon that we can catch in Hidden Grottoes that we do not yet have. But just for the sake of my sanity, we are only going after Pokemon that we can only find in Hidden Grottoes, because getting any given Pokemon to appear in one of these things is a trial, let me tell you. Anyway, next up right here we have Quilava in the Northern Grotto on Route 6. I really like this Pokemon. I don't know what it is about it, I just think it's really cute. Anyway, can we get lucky again? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem so. Luckily, starter Pokemon aren't the hardest thing in the world to catch, so we are going to move on and do that. There we go, Quilava was caught. Not too terribly much trouble there. Add that data to our almost complete Pokédex. It intimidates foes with the heat of its flames. The fire burns more strongly when it readies to fight. Very nice. Very, very good indeed. Alrighty. 2 down, only 7 more to go. So next up, we are going to be heading not too far. We are going to Route 7. Alrighty, here we are on Route 7, and the grotto is actually hidden right over here. These things are quite well hidden. I'm actually quite impressed. Right up here, we have the next Pokemon I would like to catch. Here we have Monferno, who really seems to indicate that there was a bit of a tradition to there being fire and fighting type starters instead of it just being a one-off thing. Oh, if only that was the end of that trend. I know it's a really good typing, but I feel like 3, especially in a row, was a little bit much. Anyway, unfortunately we do not get lucky with the quick ball right there, which is disappointing, I guess. So I guess what we gotta do is we have to move on to other methods of capture. There we go, Monferno was caught. That one took a few throws, but honestly, after some of the legendaries we've done the past few videos, no big deal. It skillfully controls the intensity of the fire on its tail to keep its foes at an ideal distance. Very nice indeed. Alrighty, now that we have caught Monferno, I think there's still one more fire-type starter that we do not yet have. Hopefully that one will show up in due time. But anyway, now that we have done that, we are off to Route 13. Now, there are 2 hidden grottos on Route 13. One of them is right here. The Pokemon we want do not appear in that hidden grotto. Instead, they appear in another grotto wedged right over here in these trees instead. Make sure you don't screw that up, because otherwise you're going to be a bit out of luck. Anyway, right up here, we have a fan favorite, Marshtomp. I remember right when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out, the internet sort of took a liking to this guy's grin in his 3D model. I don't know exactly why, but it was pretty amusing. Anyway, let's try and quick ball this one, see if we can get lucky for a second time in this video. Man, that wasn't even close. Ay. I know there's definitely the Mudkips joke to be made here, but this isn't a Mudkip, so I think I am instead going to forego the joke and just catch it. And there we go. Marshtomp was caught after a little bit of a struggle, but honestly, no big deal. Its sturdy legs give it sure footing, even in mud. It burrows into dirt to sleep. Very nice. Now, I mentioned I'd been playing for 2 hours and 15 minutes by the time I started recording this episode. The 4 Pokemon we just caught are everything I was able to get to show up in that time. So now what I have to do is I have to go and see if I can generate the rest, and that might take a while. So I don't actually know where I will meet you guys back, because I don't know what will spawn in first, but I'll just say that I hope you guys wish me luck. Alrighty, some 4.5 hours of gameplay later, I have finally been able to generate all 5 of the remaining Pokemon that we need. And yes, that does in fact mean that this episode will have taken more than 7 hours of gameplay to make. Yeah. Anyway, we are here in the Flockacy Ranch because due to an oversight, or maybe it was intentional, I don't know, we can actually find Celebi in this area, believe it or not. And in fact, this is the last Pokemon that we need to see, which means as of this very moment, we have seen all 649 Pokemon that we have to find in Pokemon Blaze Black 2. That's pretty impressive. As far as I know, Celebi does not appear in this area in Volt White 2. Not sure what's up with that, and we get the Lucky Quick Ball, which is awesome. I'm assuming it probably has something to do with the fact that Celebi didn't spawn in the intended location earlier in the LP. Perhaps it does in Volt White 2, I actually don't know. It has the power to travel across time, but it is said to appear only in peaceful times. I wouldn't call this peaceful. It took 7 hours for this stupid thing to show up in the grotto. Anyway, with that, we have both seen every single Pokemon in the game, and we have captured every single legendary. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. Anyway, with that, we are now headed back to the Lost Lorn Forest to catch another Pokemon. Alrighty, here we are back in the Lost Lorn Forest, and this exact same grotto from earlier on in the video indeed can contain another Pokemon that we need. In this case, it is Ivysaur, which I believe as of this moment in the LP is the lowest Pokedex number Pokemon that we have, because we don't have Bulbasaur yet, and this is the only Pokemon that comes before it. I mean, after it, yes, no. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, it's been a long, long day so far trying to record this episode. Oh my goodness. And, of course, we can get Celebi in a quick ball, but not Ivysaur. Oh well, let's just jump cut to catching this thing. And I didn't even have to cut, that was the very next throw, which I'm perfectly okay with. Alrighty. When the bud on its back starts swelling, a sweet aroma wafts to indicate the flower's coming bloom. Very nice. Alrighty. Now that we've gotten that one, there is still yet another grass type that we are going to need to catch in one of these hidden grottos. Luckily, it appears right over on Route 6, so I will meet you guys right over there. Alrighty, now this is not the same grotto on Route 6 that we were at earlier in the episode. This is indeed a different one. You might recall that we caught Grovyle here quite a while ago, and indeed, Bayleaf will also spawn in this hidden grotto, which is very nice because we have it right here. I believe, quick look at my notes, this is the last grass type starter we are in need of, which is very, very nice to say. Anyway, let's see if we can get lucky with this quick ball right here. Critical capture, that's a good sign. Nice. It paused a little bit, I was a little nervous for a second, but we did indeed get it. Very good. The buds that ring its neck give off a spicy aroma that perks people up. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed to have this one under our belt as well. Anyhow, next up we are going to be heading back to the grotto that we could find on Route 7. Alrighty, right over here on Route 7 we are back at this grotto, and inside is the final fire-type starter we are in need of. Indeed, it is Charmeleon. Alrighty, I'll be honest, I really like Charmeleon's design just in general. I don't know what it is about it. It's just a very simple kind of fire-type design, plus I like the color, like the shade of red they picked. I don't know. It's a really basic liking of the Pokemon. Anyway, let's see if we can get Quick Ball lucky again. Yeah, awesome. Man, this LP so far has definitely converted me on the Quick Balls. In the Rocky Mountains where Charmeleon live, their fiery tails shine at night like stars. Very nice indeed. Alrighty. There is only one more Pokemon left for us to catch in the entire series. Some of the Pokeballs we throw later on in this next cut will indeed be our last. We are headed off to Route 13. We are back here at this hidden grotto that we were at a little bit earlier in the episode. We caught a Marshtomp there earlier, and indeed, I'm saying indeed a lot, but I'm just really hyped to get this episode completed. We have Prinplop, which is the final water starter, and just the final starter, period, that we need. This Pokemon is also the last Pokemon we are going to be catching in the wild, and is the last Pokemon from an evolutionary family that we do not yet have. Once we capture this one, we will have a member of every single line in the entire game. Now, can we get lucky? Critical capture quick ball perfection on the last throw of the series? No. You know what? I'm feeling stupid. It's sacrilege, I know, but we have 3 Master Balls and I have not used them yet. We're Master Balling a frickin' Prinplop, dang it. We definitely deserve it. Total waste of the thing, but you know what? We're doing it. Just for the giggles, just because this is the last Pokemon that we ever have to catch in the entire series. It is done. Prinplop was caught. Because every Prinplop considers itself to be the most important, they can never form a group. And of course, I had to trip over my words on this very last capture right here. Oh man. Anyway, with that, I'm going to be making my way over to a Pokemon Center because I believe we qualified for a medal at some point during this episode. Alrighty, here we are in Straton City. Let's see what we qualified for. I'm not actually sure what we did qualify for. Probably has something to do with taking like 1,000,000 steps or something. Oh, we just get hint medals. Well, that's boring. Anyway, I'm going to heal up my Pokemon a little bit because I did have to do some knocking out of other Pokemon in Hidden Grottos while we were off screen, and oh boy, we were off screen for a while. Again, to reiterate, this episode has taken 7 hours of gameplay. Anyway, with that, it's probably a very short episode after all the editing is over, but honestly, I couldn't care less at this point, I apologize. But anyway, this past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we did the final bit of capturing of the series, including Celebi, the final legendary Pokemon, and the last Pokemon belonging to evolutionary lines that we did not yet possess. And next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we are going to be breeding for 13 Pokemon that there are no other ways to obtain. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.